been long.
I wanted you.
Where have you been then, Eleanor?
I've been to the market. And I bought some anemones. But they're freezing, poor things, so I must warm them up.
Where's the sun?
It's behind the mist. There's no clouds, it's just the mist from the sea, for it smells too.
Did you notice whether any of the birds were still alive outside?
Yes, they're still all alive except by God's will. But, do you know, there were dead birds in the market.
Has the newspaper come?
No, Ellis, it hasn't.
Has the paper come?
No, it hasn't.
Oh, so cold, so cold.
When we had love, we could do anything, but now hate has filled the house.
Oh, so cold.
Why are they asking for the newspaper?
Don't you understand? You're having it.
What?
Everything. The burglary, the police, and more.
Has the paper come?
No, Mother, it hasn't.
Tell me as soon as it comes.
Oh, the paper. If only someone had broken the printing works, or if the editor had been taken ill. No, I mustn't say that. But anyway, I was with Father last night,
Last night?
in my sleep, and I was with my sister in her shop. She sold well the day before yesterday. In fact, she sold $30 worth and made a $5 profit.
Was that much or little, eh?
It's quite a lot.
Ah. Did you meet anyone you knew in the market?
Why? You mustn't be artful with me, Benjamin. You want to know my secrets? Well, you shan't.
And you think you can learn mine that way?
Oh, can you hear the telephone wires? Now the paper's out. People are ringing saying, have you read it? Oh, yes, I've read it. Oh, isn't it awful?
What is awful?
Life is altogether awful. Look at Ellis and Christina. They're fond of each other and now they hate each other. The thermometer goes down whenever they enter the room.
Do you know why?
The papers.
It's because your brother is jealous.
Don't say that word. You don't know what it is. Jealousy is just a disease and consequently a punishment. Have you noticed how changed Ellis is since he began to read the papers?
About the trial?
Yes. Evil from the papers penetrates his soul and shines out through his face and his eyes. And Christina sees the evil and puts on an armour of ice. Oh, papers, if only I might burn them. Evil and revenge radiate from them. You must not let evil enter your lips or your heart.
How clearly you see everything.
Do you know what will happen to me if they discover that it was I who bought the flower in that odd way?
What will they do with you?
They'll send me back. Where I came from. Where the walls are white and stark, like a bathroom. Where you hear weeping and wailing. Where I have wasted a year of my life.
Where do you mean?
Where one is tortured worse than in prison. Where the accursed have their home, where unrest watches over you night and day, where one returns and never goes back.
Worse than prison. Where do you mean?
In prison, one is condemned. There, one is damned. In prison, one is examined and listened to. There, one is not listened to. Poor Daffodil. The cause of it all, I meant so well. And I acted so wrongly.
Then why don't you just go to the flower shop and say, this is how it happened. You were just like a lamb being led to the slaughter.
And when a lamb knows it must be slaughtered, it doesn't complain or try to run away. It just waits.
Has the paper not come yet?
No, it hasn't.
Lena, go and buy a newspaper.
Children, go away for a moment, please. the asylum?
Yes,
What do they want?
they want Eleonora back.
They shan't have her. She is my child.
And my sister.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know, I can't think anymore.
But I can. Eleonora, this child of sorrow, has brought joy. Not of this world, perhaps, but her unrest has been changed to peace, which she shares with us all. Say no not. For me, she is wise, for she knows how to bear the burden of this life better than I. Than we. Moreover, Alice, if I am sane, was I sane when I believed my husband innocent? I knew quite well that he was convicted of material, tangible evidence, and that he had confessed. And you, Alice, are you in your senses when you can't see that Christina loves you? And you think she hates you?
It's an extraordinary way of loving.
No. Your coldness reaches her heart, and it is you who hate. But you are wrong, and therefore you must suffer.
How can I be wrong? Did she not go out last night with my disloyal friend?
Yes, and with your knowledge. But why did she go? Well, Alice, you ought to be able to imagine why.
No, I cannot.
Very well then. You deserve all you've got. Oh, there's Lena with the paper.
That was the only real misfortune. Together with her, I could have borne the rest. But now, my last support is taken away from me and I'm falling.
Fall then, but fall rightly, that you may rise once more. What news is in the paper?
I don't know, I'm afraid of the paper today.
Oh, give it to me and I'll read it.
No, wait a moment.
What are you afraid of? What are you expecting?
The very worst.
It has come already so many times. And you, my child, if you knew my life, if you had been there when I saw your father go step by step into ruin, whilst I could not warn the many people he brought into misfortune. When he fell, I felt myself an accomplice, for I knew of the crime. And if the judge had not been a sensible man and understood the difficulties of my position as wife, well, I should have been punished too.
What was the cause of father's fall?
Pride, as with all of us.
And why must we innocent ones suffer for his faults?
Be quiet. What's this? Didn't I say that, among other things, a yellow tulip was taken from the flower shop?
Yes, I remember it quite distinctly.
But here it says a daffodil.
Does it say that?
It's Eleonora. Oh my God. My God.
And that was not all?
Prison or the asylum.
It's impossible that she did it. Impossible!
And now our name will be public again. And dishonoured.
Do they suspect her?
It says here, suspicion has been aroused in certain places against, it's quite clear whom.
I'll talk to her.
Talk kindly, for I cannot bear any more. She is lost, and the lost. Talk to her.
Eleonora, my child, come and let me talk to you.
I was just putting up my hair.
Never mind that. Tell me, little sister, where did you get that flower?
I took it,
God.
but I left my money on the counter.
So you paid for it?
Yes! I know. But I only meant well. I didn't mean any harm. Will you believe me?
I believe you, dear sister, but the papers don't know you're innocent.
Oh, so I must suffer that too. What will they do with me? Well, let them.
No, you mustn't touch her, for she has done no wrong. I know, because it was I who did it.
Don't listen to him, it was I.
What shall I believe? Whom shall I believe?
Me.
Me.
Let me go to the police.
Hush, hush.
No, I will go.
Be quiet, children. Mother's coming.
My child! My Mwah! My beloved child, you are with me and you will stay with me.
Mother, you kissed me. You haven't done that for many a year. Why only now?
Because the owner of the flower shop is outside and begs pardon for having caused so much annoyance. The money has been found and your name has
Good child, don't suffer all this for me. How could you want to do it?
I'm so very fond of you, Eleanor.
Put on your things, children, and go out to the garden. Oh, it's clearing up.
Oh, it's clearing up. Come on, Benjamin.
Maybe soon throw the birch on the fire.
Not yet. There's one thing left.
Linquist?
He is outside, but he is very strange and curiously gentle. It's only a shame he is so wordy and speaks so much of himself.
Well, now that I've seen a sunbeam, I'm not afraid to meet a child. Let him come.
But don't irritate him. Destiny has placed your fate in his hands, and the meek. You know where the arrogant go.
I know. Listen, Escalocious, does he mean to come in with them all? But why not? These are his carpets and his furniture.
Alice, think of us all.
I do, Mother.
My name is Lindquist.
Mine is Heist. Please take a seat. What can I do for you?
I had the honour last night of announcing my intended visit. But on second thoughts I found it not quite fitting to discuss business on a holy day.
You're much obliged.
We're not obliged, yes. However, the day before yesterday I happened to call on the Lord Lieutenant. Do you know the Lord Lieutenant?
I have not the honour.
Then you shall have the honour. You talked to your father,
Dare say.
as I got this paper from him.
Expected it for some time. But before we go any further, I will ask permission to put a question.
By all means.
Why don't you take this paper to the official receiver so that we may at least be spared this slow and painful execution?
Oh, that's it, young man.
Young or not, ask no mercy, only justice.
That's it. No mercy, no mercy. Just look at the paper which I lay on the edge of the table here. Now I put it back in my pocket. Justice, she said. Nothing but justice. Now, listen, my dear fellow. Once upon a time I was robbed. Robbed of my money in an unpleasant way. When I wrote you a good-natured letter, asked how much respite you required, you answered me rudely. You treated me as if I were a usurer, who would plunder widows and fatherless children. But it was I myself who had been plundered, and you were one of the robbers. But as I had more sense, I contented myself with replying civilly but sharply to your rude abuse. You know my blue baby. I can have it stamped whenever I like, but I don't always happen to like.
If you please, the furniture is at your disposal.
I wasn't looking at the furniture. I was looking to see whether your mother was here. I suppose she loves justice just as much as you do.
I hope so.
Good. Do you know that if the justice which you appear to esteem so highly had had its course, your mother, as an accomplice, might also have met with justice?
Surely not.
Yes! And it's not too late even now!
My mother?
Look at this paper which I lay on the edge of the table. And this is really blue, but it is not stamped yet.
God Almighty, my mother. Everything comes back.
Yes, my own lover of justice, everything comes back. Such things do happen. If I should now put this question to myself, you, Anders Johan Lindqvist, is it right that you in your old age should suffer the torments of life? Is it right that you should deprive yourself and your children, mark well your children, of the support which by industry, foresight and self-denial, note well, self-denial, you saved up, Ura by Ura. What would you do, Anders Johan Lindqvist, if you are to be just? You rob nobody, but if you dislike being robbed, you can no longer live in a town, for nobody will have anything to do with a hard-hearted man who demands his own back. So you see that there is a charity which runs contrary to the law and is above it. It is mercy.
You're right. Take everything, it belongs to you.
I have the right, but I dare not exercise it.
I shall think of your children and not complain.
Good. Then we shall put back the blue paper once more. Now, we should go a step further.
Excuse me, do they really mean to prosecute my mother?
Let us go a step further first. So, you don't know the Lord Lieutenant personally?
No, and I don't want to.
Come, come. The Lord Lieutenant, you see, was a friend of your father's in childhood, and he wants to make your acquaintance. Everything comes back to us. Everything. Won't you pay him a visit?
No.
Then I shall have to squeeze you. Do you know that the Lord Lieutenant was a good friend? Won't you pay him a visit?
No, maybe talk of something else.
You must be polite to me, for I am defenseless. Because you have public opinion on your side, and I only justice. What have you against the Lord Lieutenant? He doesn't like bicycles and people's high schools. That is a little peculiarity of his. We need not exactly respect the peculiarities. Let us pass them over. Pass them over and keep to essentials as man to man. And in the great crises of life, we must take each other as we are, with all our strengths, faults, and weaknesses. Swallow each other neck and crop. You go to the Lord Lieutenant.
Never.
Is that the sort of man you are?
Yes, that sort.
Worse. Worse still. I shall have to try another side. A revengeful person intends to bring a charge against your mother. That you can prevent.
How?
By going to the Lord Lieutenant!
No.
Then you are the vilest creature I have ever met in my life! I'll go to your mother myself!
Don't.
Will you go to the Lord Lieutenant?
Yes.
Once more and louder!
Yes.
And that's settled. Here's the paper. Now comes number 2. Which was number 1? Shall we sit down? You see, if only we go to meet each other, the road will be shortened by half. Number 2. My claim to your house. No illusions. For I neither can nor will give away the property of my family. I will extort my claim to the last Ura.
Did I understand?
Oh, indeed, you do understand that.
I did not mean to be offensive.
I realize that. Be beast, lash, 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 and the flesh-coloured Cornelian, the giant from the skin of his bone, who doesn't eat children, only frightens them. I will frighten you, I will, until you're out of your wits, I will. I shall have the value of every stick of furniture. I have the inventory right here in my pocket, and if a single stick is missing, I shall have you clapped into jail when neither the sun nor Cassiopeia shines. Yes, I can eat up children and widows when I am provoked. And public opinion? Bah! As to that, I shall simply move to another town. You had a friend named Peter. Peter Holmblatt. He was a language fellow and your pupil in languages. But you wanted to make a kind of profit out of him. Very well, he was disloyal. The cock crew twice, didn't it? Human nature is unreliable, just like things and thoughts. Peter was faithless. I don't deny it, and I don't defend him on that point. But the human heart is fathomless, and gold and dross lie mixed together in it. Peter was a faithless friend to you, but nevertheless a friend.
A faithless?
Faithless, yes, but nevertheless a friend. This faithless friend, unknown to you, has done you a great service.
That too.
Everything comes back to us. Everything.
Everything evil, yes. And good is rewarded with evil.
Not always. Good also comes back. Believe me.
I suppose I must, as you torture the life out of me.
Not life, but pride and evil I will squeeze out of you.
Go on.
I said that Peter had done you a great service.
I don't want to accept any service from that fella.
I suppose I shall have to squeeze you again as... Listen, you have some money in the bank, haven't you?
What does that have to do with me? Well, responsible for my father's death, I suppose.
Aren't you? Aren't you? Weren't you here eating and drinking in this house when my children's money was being lavished here? Answer.
I can't deny it.
And since the furniture does not suffice to pay the debt, you will at once make out a cheque for the amount.
That too?
That too. Please, write it out. Write it out to yourself or order.
Won't be enough anyhow.
Then you must go and borrow the balance, every euro of it.
Here. This is all I possess. It's my summer and my bride. I have no more to give.
You must go and borrow, I say.
I can't.
Then you must find a surety.
No one will go surety for a heist.
Then, as an ultimatum, I will put before you two alternatives. Thank Peter, or pay up the whole amount.
I won't have anything to do with Peter.
Then you are the vilest creature I know. By a simple act of politeness, you are able to save your mother's house and the future of your fiancé, and you will not do it? There must be some motive you won't disclose. Why do you hate Peter?
Kill me, but do not go on torturing me.
You are jealous of him. So that's how things stand. Have you read the morning paper?
Yes, unfortunately.
All of it?
No, not all.
Then you don't know that Peter is engaged.
That I didn't know.
Nor to who? Guess.
How?
He is engaged to Miss Alice. It was arranged at a certain concert last night. at which your fiancé acted as mediator.
Then why all this secrecy?
Haven't two young people the right to keep the secrets of their hearts from you?
And I had to suffer this torture for their happiness?
Yes! For those who had to suffer that, you might be happy. Your mother, your father, your sweetheart, your sister. Sit down and I'll tell you a story. A very short one. I came to the capital as a boy, alone, unknown and knowing no one, to seek employment. I had only 1 krona, and it was a dark night. As I didn't know of a cheap hotel, I asked passers-by, but nobody answered me. Imagine my distress. When I was in the depths of despair, a man came and asked me why I cried. For I was crying. I told him of my distress. Then he retraced his steps, accompanied me to an hotel, and comforted me with kind words. As I passed through the entrance hall, the glass door of a shop was flung open and hit me in the elbow, and the glass was broken. The angry shopkeeper confronted me and demanded payment, threatening to call in the police. Imagine my despair with a night on the streets in prospect. The kindly unknown who had witnessed the whole thing intervened, took the trouble of calling in the police, and saved me. That man was your father. Thus, everything comes back to us, good things as well. And for your father's sake, I have wiped out my claim. So, keep this paper and your check. And as you seem to find difficulty in saying thank you, I will go at once, especially as I find it painful to be thanked. Now, go at once and free your mother from her anxiety. Go! Well, little people, come in and don't be afraid. Do you know who I am? I am the giant from the skin of this bird who frightens little children. Whoa! Whoa! It's time, my furry games. Come here, Lenora. Your father's kind eyes. He was a good man, though weak. So there.
He speaks well of father. Can anybody think well of him?
I can. Ask your brother, Ellis.
So, you don't mean us any harm then?
Ha! No, dearest child.
So, can you help us?
Child, I can't help your father to escape his punishment. I have Benjamin through his Latin examination. You can't get everything in life, and you can get nothing for nothing. So, you must help me, will you?
What can I do, me a poor little thing?
What date is it today? Look it up.
It is the 16th.
And before the 20th, you must have made your brother Ellis call the Lord Lieutenant and write a letter to Peter.
Is that all?
Oh, child. But if he doesn't do it, the giant will come back and say, "Whoa!"
Why does the giant come to frighten children?
to make the children good.
Oh, that's true, you're right. Thanks, good giant.
You should say Miss Lindquist, you know.
No, that name is too ordinary.
Well, goodbye to you children. Now you can throw the birch on the fire.
No, the birch must stay in the vase, lest the children forget.
How well you know children, little one.
Oh, Benjamin, soon we'll be going to the country. If only the days might go a little